Fritz for the freestyle category, was part of the jury and said it was all about creativity. 6 categories were judged: men with beards of less than 20 centimeters, men with Garibaldi beards, what are they, do you know?
I have no idea.
Men with Verde beards, men with a natural beard longer than 20 centimeters, men with a special mustache, and a freestyle beard. Sort of a hipster's paradise there in Paris. You know, I tried to grow a beard once.
And how'd that work out
I got a
for
spot,
you?
one spot that doesn't really, well, there's pictures in the hallway. Remember when I
yes, that's true.
And now it's like gray, Santa Claus. Joining any beard
Paris.
contest. No.
Paris awaits.
You've always had Paris, right? That's our time for Now News 5 starts right now.
Right now at 5, the investigation continues in Monroe after 4 people were killed in a plane crash. What one witness is saying about it.
Plus, family and the Partyville community, their drama teacher and her husband tonight after a fatal crash.
And final preparations are underway for the historic meeting between President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
This is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. The Greene County community is reacting to news of a plane crash near Monroe yesterday afternoon.
We've learned in the last hour that 81-year-old Colleen Deininger was the pilot, and her daughter, 53-year-old Melissa Deininger Dickman, and grandchildren, 17-year-old Emma Rose Dickman and 13-year-old Alex Dickman, were on board. All 4 of them were from Kenosha.
Rose Schmidt joins us live now from the Monroe Municipal Airport with the very latest on the federal investigation now underway. Rose?
That's right. The family started out at an airport in Kenosha and was headed here to celebrate a graduation. Now, federal investigators tell me it could take them up to 2 years to figure out what exactly caused the plane to crash. This was the view from Valerie Pick's backyard Monday as investigators worked to clean up the scene. But just 24 hours before,
the house shook like the neighbors have dynamite. They blast in the quarry, so the whole house was shook.
Valerie didn't see the plane hit the ground, but she sure felt it.
I couldn't believe it was a plane crash. We had a plane in the 80s, mid-80s crash in the front of the house. Yeah, and an older couple had passed away in that.
Her son came out of his house next door and got out his binoculars to look a few hundred yards away.
They were looking toward the north, and he said there was an explosion. But then we looked, and we could see flames, so we must have just missed it. But there was flames and a lot of black smoke.
Valerie's property is hundreds of acres, and she's surrounded by her animals.
The horses were scared. They were running around. It was pretty terrifying.
The crash left a physical mark on the trees in the area and an emotional one in town.
I think Monroe will respond with any tragedy we've had in recent times with great support that we need to do to those families.
Mayor Louis Armstrong says Monroe is a place where everyone is familiar with one another, and they have a lot to be proud of.
Take a lot of pride in our new airport terminal, and we're trying to get a lot of traffic in here, and it's unfortunate to have something like this happen.
The last crash in the Monroe area happened in 1988, and 2 people died.
Not the first, but hopefully the last.
Federal investigators say that the preliminary report will come out in just a few days, with the finding of probable cause coming out in 12 to 24 months.
All right, Rose Schmidt reporting live from Monroe. Thank you, Rose. The Beloit Police Department is investigating after a former patrol officer is arrested for sexual assault of a child. The Beloit Police Department says 62-year-old Larry Woods was taken into custody on Saturday. Woods retired as a patrol officer from the police department in 2007. Officers say he has been working as a security guard with the school district of Beloit and the Beloit Public Library. He's been placed on administrative leave. Woods is expected to be in court tomorrow. A Sun Prairie family and an entire community in Partyville are remembering a couple killed in a car crash, one of them a longtime drama teacher. Frank and Lorraine Fundingsland were hit head-on by a reckless driver on Highway 19 last Friday. Amanda Quintana is in our newsroom with the legacy they both leave behind.
Yes, well, their family, along with teachers and students in Partyville, still cannot believe that Frank and Lori are gone. Lori was a special education assistant and the drama director at Partyville High School since 1994. The district tells us she had a way of getting students who never thought they could be on stage to embrace a role and get a burst of self-confidence.
You know, we're all in shock because it was so sudden. I mean, you know, June 1st was our last day of school. We saw her, we talked to her on June 1st, and all of a sudden a week later, she's gone.
The high school is currently building an auditorium, something Lori was really excited about after teaching drama in the gym for all those years. The school hopes to recognize her legacy some way once that stage is built and opens next spring. Her husband, Frank, had been diagnosed with stage 4 colon and liver cancer, and the two were on their way to an appointment at the UW oncologist when they were hit by that other car. They leave behind 2 daughters and 2 grandchildren. Coming up at 6, we will hear from one of their daughters about how she will remember her mom and dad.
What a terribly sad story. Amanda, thank you.
All right, we turn now to weather. Get a look at your first alert forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us now. Gary?
It's a little humid out there. Temperatures aren't too bad, but that will change as we head toward the weekend. We do have alert days in the forecast for both Saturday and Sunday. We are looking at the potential for heat index values to get into the 90s, maybe close to 100 in some spots, and actual high temperatures will be in the upper 80s on Saturday and around 90 on Sunday, with just a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm to break the heat. On visible cloud track today, lots of the state had sunshine. Here in southern Wisconsin, the clouds have been thickening up, but the rain is nowhere near us, up near the Twin Cities and far northwestern Wisconsin. Some severe thunderstorms moving into western Iowa where a tornado watch is in effect, but those storms, when they reach us late tonight, will be well below severe limits. Otherwise, Doppler track doesn't show anything imminent. As we look at low temperatures this morning, we started out around 60 degrees here in Madison, and high temperatures so far only reached the middle 60s near Lake Michigan, but generally mid to upper 70s across the rest of southern Wisconsin. La Crosse did top out at 81. Current temperatures are generally in the 70s from Madison westward and in the upper 60s east of town. As we check out dew points, you can see them starting to increase. They're in the 50s to our east, but generally low to mid 60s to the west. Look for temperatures to drop to the lower 60s by tomorrow morning and some patchy fog. Just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm overnight. Tomorrow we'll see a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, a warm and humid day with a high of 80. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. In just a matter of hours, Donald Trump will become the first sitting U.S. president to meet with the leader of North Korea. The White House says the president and Kim Jong-un will meet alone with just their interpreters at the beginning of the historic summit in just under 3 hours. Earlier in the day, President Trump met with Singapore's president and expressed optimism about the summit. The White House says the only outcome the United States will accept is complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, but Secretary of State Mike Pompeo avoided specifics about what the U.S. is offering North Korea in return.
We're prepared to take what will be security assurances that are different, unique, than have been provided, that America has been willing to provide previously.
Secretary Pompeo also said the U.S. will keep up the economic pressure until North Korea takes verified steps to dismantle its nuclear arsenal. An inmate is facing additional charges after he injured 2 Dane County Sheriff's deputies. Officials say 21-year-old Daniel Lennington of Madison was arrested by police last night. While being booked into the Dane County jail, he began to grab and punch deputies. They say Lennington even slammed one deputy into a counter. Deputies used a taser on him and were able to restrain him. 2 female deputies, ages 30 and 42, were both treated and released from the hospital. Lennington facing 2 counts of battery to a law enforcement officer. Madison police investigating the death of a 58-year-old man who was found dead early Sunday morning in a South Side home. Officials say the man was discovered around 1:50 a.m. in the 2000 block of Post Road. Police say the Dane County medical examiner will determine the cause and the manner of death. A teenage bicyclist who was traveling the wrong way was hit by a vehicle. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says it happened Sunday afternoon on Fair Oaks Avenue at Commercial Avenue in the town of Blooming Grove. Deputies say a 15-year-old female bicyclist was traveling in the wrong lane of traffic when she was hit. The girl was not wearing a helmet at the time of the crash and was taken to UW Hospital. She had non-life-threatening injuries and was released. The driver of the vehicle was cited for operating with no insurance. 21 white-tailed deer from a deer farm in Iowa County have tested positive for chronic wasting disease. Last month, multiple agencies, including DATCAP, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service veterinarians, and animal health technicians, humanely depopulated the farm's 103 white-tailed deer. CWD testing was done for 79 of those deer. Officials say the farm had been quarantined since October. Well, toxic algae blooms are spreading across Lake Mendota. The blue-green algae, bad for health, can also lead to many beach closures. Our Keely Arthur live at the UW, where experts are digging more deeply into what causes these blooms. Keely?
Well, here on Lake Mendota, things look pretty clear right now, right? Well, it's not because the algae is gone. Rather, the wind has just created the the algae to go deeper into the lake, so you can't really see it. But here's a closer look at what it looked like just a few days ago when the water was calmer. This is a photo courtesy of the UW Center for Limnology. Now, researchers there say we're going to see more algae blooms because of this very wet May and early June we've seen, and they say it's really only going to get worse later on in the season. The heavy water is pushing more phosphorus from manure into the water, leading to algae blooms earlier on that will die off, releasing nitrogen. Now, those are two of the key ingredients for more blooms.
The poisonous algae are going to have a lot of phosphorus and a lot of nitrogen, and they're going to grow like gangbusters. All they need is warm water.
Now, to prevent more algae, Dane County recently announced their Suck the Muck campaign, which literally sucks phosphorus from the bottoms of the streams that feed into the lakes. And while not all algae is toxic, some of it really can be very dangerous. To check and see what beaches are closed, I recommend going to publichealthmdc.com. That will tell you if your favorite beach has any of that toxic algae. And right now, by the looks of it, all of them are clear. Back to you.
Yeah, really a lot of years building up to cause all these issues. They're trying to fix them. Keely along the lakefront there. Keely, thank you.
A to-go snack sold at area Quick Trip stores could be linked to a recent spike in illnesses. The Wisconsin Department of Health Services, the Minnesota Department of Health, and local health departments are investigating an increase of cyclospora infections. The officials say 11 ill patients in Wisconsin and 3 in Minnesota have reported buying a Del Monte vegetable tray from a Wisconsin or Minnesota Quick Trip just before they became ill. Quick Trip is cooperating with state officials and voluntarily removed the products from their store. Officials say symptoms include diarrhea, loss of appetite and weight, cramping, bloating, increased gas, nausea, fatigue, and a low-grade fever.
Dozens of researchers from across the country are in Madison for a special kind of boot camp. It's the 9th annual Health Equity Leadership Institute. It started today on campus. They're holding the conference to try to increase the number of minority researchers investigating health disparities and improve health equity among people of different races.
This is one way that we bring in nationally recognized scholars as mentors and educators, as well as junior individuals who are at the beginning of their careers, to make sure that we can really move this work forward.
The conference runs through the end of the week. People from 11 states are expected to attend.
Madison College is expanding to a new campus and bringing its mission to educate the community with it. Officials broke ground today on the Goodman South Campus, which will serve South Madison neighborhoods as well as the underrepresented individuals in the area. The $23 million campus is designed with accessibility in mind, with support services in-house and a convenient location next to the Madison Metro South transfer point. Officials hope that it becomes a staple for the area.
In engaging to the community, inviting the community in, because it is truly the community's college, and we will foster and move forward with that.
And officials hope for the new campus to be operational by the fall of 2019.
Still ahead on News 3 at 5, a Michigan man charged with killing 5 bicyclists while under the influence is sentenced. What one woman who survived the crash is now saying.
Plus, friends, foodies, and restaurants around the world are remembering Anthony Bourdain after he was found dead in his hotel room last week.
Not a whole lot of movement today on Wall Street. The Dow up a half a dozen. The Nasdaq ticked up 14 while the S&P gained 3. We'll be right back. A judge sentences a Michigan man who plowed into bicyclists, killing 5 to at least 40 years in prison.
A judge sentenced Charles Pickett Jr. 35 to 55 years in prison for each of the accounts of second-degree murder. Prosecutors say Pickett was driving under the influence of drugs when he crashed his pickup truck into 9 bicyclists in 2016, killing 5 of them. Pickett was convicted last month of 5 counts of second-degree murder and other offenses.
I hope you serve the rest of your days behind bars so that no one else will experience the pain and suffering due to your selfish actions. 5 remarkable, loving, generous individuals who worked tirelessly to make the world a better place have been taken from us because of your choices.
Pickett apologized and said he would give his own life for the people who were killed and injured.
Friends, fans, and restaurants all around the world are paying tribute to Anthony Bourdain. Last week, Bourdain was shooting his award-winning CNN series, Parts Unknown, in France. The New York Times reports his friend found Anthony Bourdain unresponsive in his hotel room. Jason Wang, the CEO of the New York City restaurant chain Xi'an, Famous Foods, says what began in 2005 as a small enclave in this underground food court in Queens quickly expanded after Bourdain visited for an episode of No Reservations.
He's our biggest benefactor. You know, he's really someone that really promoted us in the early days.
Wang says he donated 100% of sales on Friday, some $73,000, to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. If you are having suicidal thoughts or would like to speak with someone, the Suicide Prevention Lifeline number is 1-800-273-8255.
Well, Justify is back in Kentucky after becoming the 13th winner of horse racing's Triple Crown. The Belmont Stakes champion arrived at Churchill Downs this morning. The horse will spend a week in Louisville before heading back to Santa Anita Park in California. Justify held off Gronkowski in the... That's the horse?
Gronkowski, look at that. I love how the horse is... There he is.
Yeah. In the Belmont to become the Triple Crown winner.
Quite a horse. And the sales of UW-Madison season football tickets for students in full swing now. Tickets sold out on the first day of the two-day sale. Today was the first opportunity for students to purchase season football tickets in the student section at Camp Randall. Only juniors and seniors were invited to buy those tickets, and all of those tickets have already been sold. The sale will open to freshmen and sophomores for their tickets tomorrow morning at 7:30.
Football season's almost here, but Garrett Canoldi in the backyard doesn't feel like football yet. We got a few months to go.
Hey, it's baseball season as far as I'm concerned, right? And the humidity levels are high. It feels like summer. It'll be even hotter and even more humid as we head toward the weekend. Now, we do have alert days in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday. This is for high temperatures that'll be in the upper 80s Saturday and around 90 on Sunday. But you factor in the humidity, it'll feel more like between 90 and 95 on Saturday and 93 and 98 on Sunday. Just a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm to break the heat on either one of those 2 days, but the better chances for rain will stay up to our north. So it's, I think a lot of us will probably stay dry and just sweltering. As we take a look at visible cloud track across southern Wisconsin, you can see the clouds have been thickening up here, but no precipitation. The rest of the state getting more sunshine. Temperatures are actually a little warmer there. Take a look at the rain over the last 4 days, and that'll give you a reason why it's so humid. About 2 to 6 inches of rain in that red shaded area from northeastern Iowa and southeastern Minnesota through Grant County and then down into northwestern Illinois. Parts of the Chicago area got hit hard as well. But the farther north and east you go, the less the rain was. In fact, the Fox Valley didn't get very much, if any, in the way of rain, and our northeastern viewers probably less than a ½ inch of rain. Most of us from Madison to the south and west picked up about an inch or two of rain. But right now, Doppler track free of precipitation. Out to our west, thunderstorms moving into the Twin Cities. More storms into western Iowa have prompted the issuance of a tornado watch until 11 p.m. Temperatures, though, will be around 80 for the next couple of days, which is just slightly above the average high of 77. But even though the average high gets up to 79 by the beginning of next week, our temperatures go up even faster. Be up into the upper 80s to around 90 on Monday and Tuesday. Take a look at the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center from June 19th through the 25th. Above normal temperatures expected through much of the country, with the highest probabilities in the Pacific Northwest and in the eastern portion of the nation, but about a 50% chance of above normal temperatures here. Precipitation expected to be above normal to our south and east, but below normal to our north and to our west. So look at the time lapse from the WISC Skycam in Madison. You can see how skies have remained cloudy for much of the day, but there have been some patches of blue from time to time. Otherwise, as we take a look at the latest view from the WISC Skycam, skies are mostly cloudy, and that's pretty much the case from the other Skycams as well. The Skycam in Platteville, the Queen Bee Radio Skycam, a little sunshine trying to work its way on through, and the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison showing mostly cloudy skies. As we check out the almanac, our high temperature today has only made it up to 74 degrees so far. The low temperature is 60, and right now we're sitting at 71 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Forecast for tonight, mostly cloudy, mild fog developing late, maybe a shower or thunderstorm overnight with a low of 62. Tomorrow's high at 80 with a chance of a shower or thunderstorm, otherwise just a warm and humid day. On future track, you can see the clouds thickening up overnight. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm overnight, a chance of a shower or thunderstorm during the day tomorrow with high temperatures around 80, but a cold front will come through tomorrow night and start dropping the humidity. Temperatures drop off to about 60 by Wednesday morning, and Wednesday will be sunny and warm with high temperatures around 80, but with less humidity. 7 to 10 day forecast, those temperatures come right back up as we head toward the weekend. Thunderstorm chances begin Thursday night into Friday. Just a slight chance Saturday and Sunday with temperatures close to 90. Better chances on Monday, maybe a break in the humidity Tuesday, and some more chances for thunderstorm as humidity returns for Wednesday and Thursday of next week. As we take a look at first alert traffic, the live view from on the Beltline, the DOT camera at Park Street. Slowdowns in both directions. Beltline moving pretty slowly now between Verona Road all the way out to about West Broadway. Some slowdowns also through the Isthmus on Highway 151. Eastbound on the Beltline, 27 minutes from University Avenue to the interstate, 17 minutes back in the westbound direction. Heading out of town, 28 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990 from the Beltline. It's 20 minutes to Sauk City on Highway 12 and 16 minutes out to Sun Prairie on US 151. That's your first alert traffic.
All right, take it easy out there. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. And still ahead on News 3 how a superhero is helping a child fight cancer. That story when we return. Welcome back. A British boy with a very rare brain tumor has turned to Spider-Man for strength.
As Tina Kraus reports from London, the young superhero fan is inspiring thousands in the battle for a brain cancer cure.
6-year-old cancer patient Harry St. Ledger says when he's dressed as Spider-Man, he feels brave.
Because of his webs, because of his muscles.
Because of his outfit.
Because of his outfit.
Harry's parents learned their son had a potentially lethal brain tumor when he went to the doctor with an ear infection that wouldn't go away. He recently underwent radiation therapy at a London hospital, the only treatment option.
This is the radiotherapy mask Harry wore during his 6 weeks of radiotherapy. They have to wear a mask because radiotherapy is delivered at pinpoint accuracy.
When Harry went back to school, his friends, including his sister, dressed as superheroes to honor him.
I'm dressed up as Harry because he's my hero. He's been amazing, brave.
Harry and his family teamed up with the UK charity Brain Tumor Research with a goal of raising $70,000 toward a cure.
I think it is extraordinarily brave and selfless of Harry and his family at this most difficult time to think about others.
Not all children respond to the radiation, but Harry Boy, as he's known to his family, says he believes in Spider-Man's superhero powers.
Who's braver, Harry or Spider-Man?
I think Harry.
Me, I think you're right.
His parents say they'll need strength as they wait to see what the future will bring. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
The American Cancer Society says brain and spinal cord tumors are the second most common cancers in children after leukemia. They account for about 1 in 4 childhood cancers.
We'll be right back with one final check of your forecast in a moment. Stay with us. Gary's back. One last look at the forecast.
Humidity's high, but there's not any real rain threat around here. If you take a look at Doppler track, you can see nothing even close to us right now. So I think we'll be fine this evening. Maybe later on tonight, a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm. Temperatures low to mid 70s from Madison westward, in the 60s to the east. Otherwise, look for temperatures to be around 80 the next couple of days. We'll see a break in the humidity for Wednesday and Thursday, but it comes back for Friday, and the heat is on for Saturday and Sunday. And summer-like weather continues through much of next week too.
Well, it's almost summer.
It is. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 at 6. The CBS Evening News is next.